Maraming salamat, Jimmy. At ako po isaling pusa lang dito. Ang totoo niyan, I just dropped by to see the exhibits. Sapagat ang keynote speaker ho natin si Senator Loren Legarda, ang #1 advocate on climate change. Babatiin ko po si Mario, Secretary Mario, at saka si Secretary Prosi. Ito po ang dalawang secretary ito, we are fortunate to have them at this time, at this crucial period of our history. Because ito ang dalawang ito ay hands-on scientists and technologists. Si Mario ho, he's an engineer, but very practical ho. Talagang applied science ho ang ginagawa niya. Si Secretary Prosi ho naman, Alcala, ito ho talagang hands-on ito sa agriculture. At with the two of the most critical areas of human endeavor during this time of stress, climate change, and internet are food and science and technology. Science and technology cuts across all disciplines. So, kaya we are quite fortunate that through the leadership of Secretary Montejo, we are doing cross-cutting investigation and innovation in key areas of Philippine life. #1 nga, sinabi ho niya, yung NOAA. NOAA is the indigenous Filipino innovation that will prepare us against climate change. I think that's a wonderful innovation. Sapagat at this time, the center of gravity of growth and development is slowly moving from Europe, the West, to Asia. We must be able to catch that wave of innovation dito sa Pilipinas, sapagkat yung innovation is already going on in East Asia, in China, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Singapore. Tayo ang naiiwan among the ASEAN in terms of innovation. And through the efforts of Secretary Montejo, we are trying to catch up through the power of the internet, through the power of cloud computing, through the power of science. Yan ho ang palagay kong pag-asa na lang natin, just to be able to catch up. Hindi ho naman, we don't intend to surpass any of those who are ahead of us. No, we just want to be on par so that we can bring up the standards of living of Filipinos, at least siguro ahead of some of the ASEAN countries whom we taught here in the Philippines, like the Thais, some of the Malaysians, many of the Indonesians, even some of the Koreans, who are so far ahead of all of us here. Ngayon, as head of Science Committee and head of the bicameral body of the Commission on Science, Mathematics, and Engineering of the Congress, and may inaanak ko, si Representative Palmones, napakagaling mo itong batang to in terms not only of communication, but of scientific knowledge. Kapartner ko yan sa House. We have identified at least 5 areas of innovation that we must not an optional thing, but we must do. Ang una ho ay food and agriculture, sapagkat food ho, given the global supply, given the lack of investment in R&D in agriculture in the past 2 decades, is already declining, and therefore we are seeing prices of goods, of food, rising practically every year. And that is the hidden, that is the thief that steals from the poor, because 50% of the budget of the poor go to food in the OVA, and therefore we must stabilize the price of food, and therefore food production and agricultural modernization is critical to food supply. Health. Ano ho ang #1 concern ng ating mga magulang? 57% ho ng household expense for health is still shouldered by the family, despite the fact that we have already a PhilHealth, a universal health insurance. Napakaliit ho ng sinasagot ng pamahalaan. That means that our dream of universal health coverage is still far away, and therefore we must come and be aggressive using, again, the power of science and the power of technology, of biotechnology especially, in bringing the cost of drugs, in bringing the cost or even the delivery of healthcare through telemedicine mentioned by Secretary Mario to the farthest corners of this archipelago, because the high cost of healthcare and especially of drugs is debilitating and destroying practically the little income that a large segment of our population had. The third area is energy. We have, as they said, the highest energy rate in the whole Asia. Why? When we have, if we exploit and develop all the sources of renewable energy in this country, solar, hydro, ocean current even, biomass, geothermal, we can cover practically 3 times our annual need for the next 20 years of electricity in this country. But why are we not developing fast enough our renewable energy? That's a good question when we have probably one of the best renewable energy law in this country. Again, innovation in energy is going to be crucial. We in COMSTE are propagating the extraction of ethanol out of seaweed and algae. We are going into partnership with private industry so that we can establish this non-food source of ethanol instead of using our corn as well as our sugar cane. What else? Water. We think that we have so much water in this country because we get so much rain all throughout the year. No, sir. All those rainwater goes out into the sea because we have no system of catchment that will capture that rainwater for agriculture, with 75% of our usage, and for household. So water is going to be as expensive as energy in the next decade or so, unless we now look at conservation of our watershed, conservation of our river basins, as mentioned by Secretary Montejo, and at implementing a catchment area in every province, if possible, which Secretary Alcala can very well do through his Bureau of Soils and Water. And finally, I think we've got to look at running a more efficient household. Well, generally our household is efficient because there's scarcity of everything, of food, of electricity, of basic necessities. But we can ask our technologists and engineers to design better homes that will use, rather than incandescent bulbs, fluorescent lamps, of using LED, and the savings in energy and electricity would be terrific if you just add it up. We have got to build more efficient homes that will provide clean water and provide sanitation facilities. I think those are a must if we want to raise the living standards of our people. Now, that's why I said the portfolio that Secretary Montejo and Secretary Alcala are holding are crucial to the well-being of the Filipino. What they do between now and what they have done so far up to 2016 during the term of President Pinoy, I think would be crucial in how the next generation of Filipinos will feel they are living in terms of standards of living, in terms of, of education even, and in terms of general well-being, a sense of growth. And unless we join the bandwagon in Asia, that we are now the center of growth and development and innovation in the world, then we'll be left behind. And the internet, rather than a friend, will become a hazard to increase the income divide, to increase the digital divide, and impoverize a great number of our people. So it is really in our hands. It is really within our reach. And I think within even our capacity to make that average Filipino feel less impoverished, a little more prosperous, but above all, feeling proud, feeling proud of being a Filipino. Maraming po salamat.
Thank you very much, Honorable Senator Edgardo Angara. We would also like to acknowledge the presence of Governor Carmencita Reyes of Marinduque. And now, let us now watch a short video clip on the National Science and Technology Week